Good morning, everyone. So just going to let some more people come in here. So today I'm going to go over the 0 DTE SPX trades that I do. One being the Iron Condor and the other being the Iron Fly, otherwise known as the Jim Olsen Iron Fly. And then I'm also going to look at the earnings I put on yesterday and look at earnings for today, see if there's anything on the board. So I wanted to get started here before 8:30 Central Time. Kind of just talk through what I look at before the market open. There's not a whole lot that I look at. So for the 0 days to expiration trades, especially on Wednesdays, you want to look at the Forex Factory Economic Calendar. So if you just Google that and click on today, it'll show you any economic news coming out for today. What I look for is I look for the FOMC. Things that I'm interested in are the FOMC meeting minutes. If Janet Yellen is speaking or Jerome Powell is speaking. So if we look through this today, the only thing is this FOMC member Quarles speaks. I'm not worried about that. With Powell, Yellen, or the meeting minutes, usually comes out around 1 o'clock Central. That'll really move the market. And so on those days, I usually sit out on 0 days to expiration just to avoid some wild swings. You can get some pretty wide markets and get stopped out. So today, we're good to go. So we can do the 0 days to expiration trade. For earnings yesterday, I did Dick's Sporting Good, DKS. So I put this on during the day yesterday. Normally I wait till the end of the day, but Dick's Sporting Goods was at about 85 bucks. It had about a $5 expected move. So if we go into the option chain here, so actually it moved up. So I should have waited. It was closer to $5 when I put it on. Now it's closer to $8. This 861 here is for the entire week. So the overnight expected move is, call it 80% of that. Just call it $8. So it was at 84. Now it's at 92. We're right at that $8 expected move. So this one, for me, like I said, it was closer to a $5 expected move. So I think this one might be a loser or a scratch. But we'll have to pay attention to it this morning here. Hopefully Dick's Sporting Goods come down a little bit. But we'll see. I'm not too worried about that one. I put on a short strangle. I can just kind of review what I did yesterday. I looked at the Vega. And Vega tells you how many cents the option is going to move up or down based on a volatility contraction. So here, this 9 cents means if there's a 1% vol crush, this option is going to decrease by 9 cents. And if we look at the volatility here, the back months are around 45 or so. So we can probably expect 7 or 8% of vol crush. So if it's 8%, 9 times 8, that's 72 cents. So this would drop by 72 cents if Dick's Sporting Goods doesn't move at all. Unfortunately for us, it moved up to 92. So the delta, which is 52 now, or 41 here, that option is going to increase quite a bit from the delta move. So in this case, the delta move is going to overtake the Vega move, so the call side is going to be a loser for sure. On the put side, will for sure be a winner. The Vega is 3 cents. And actually, so these, the Delta and the Vega are updated for this move now. So you can see the Delta. Normally the 50 Delta 0.5 is at the money. So yesterday this 0.5 would have been up here, but the Greeks are already taking into account the move. So this Vega isn't actually correct. So I should have looked at what it was yesterday. I think it was around 5 cents yesterday. So for earnings plays, I'll go through that. I use Market Chameleon for my earnings news. It's free to sign up, marketchameleon.com. Sign up for their free stuff. They send you an email every morning on what earnings plays are going on for today. So I just did a snippet of that email. This is how it looks. You got the symbol. It'll tell you market cap, the date. So for today, it's May 26th. So for any earnings, it's either going to be today after the market, or it's going to be tomorrow morning before market open. And then it gives you the implied move as of this morning and the absolute average move over the last 4 quarters. And then it gives you a comparison. So for these, you want to see big green numbers if you're going to sell premium. If you're going to buy premium, you want to see big red numbers. So for this one, just going through, what I've traded in the past. Ones that we might look at are Dollar Tree, Nvidia, Snow, BBY. I think that's it. So if we look at it, BBY, that's a red number. Snow, red number. Nvidia, green number. And Dollar Tree, a red number. So based on these, Nvidia is going to be, I think, the best play on the board. But we'll take a look at the options market to see the bid ask on that. So first I'm going to go through the Jim Olsen Iron Fly. That one I like to put on a minute or two after the market opens. And then I will put on the Iron Condor. And then I will manage this earnings play. And then we'll look at the earnings play for today. So we got about 7 minutes till the open here. There is a live chat if you guys have any questions or want to see anything further or better explained, just write in the chat. If there's anything wrong with the live stream, this is my first big live stream. I did one yesterday kind of as a test run, and it was a little blurry, so I upped the bit rate, so hopefully the quality's a little bit better. My internet isn't the best, so it's hard for me to live stream. But then I also had a double audio problem, so it sounded like I was a robot. So hopefully that's not happening now. If it is, just let me know. Over here, my market indicators, I got mostly futures on it. So the S&P 500 futures, they're up $8. If it's within $10 to $15, sometimes the gap likes to close. So if it's up $10, I've found that the market likes to try to go back to even. So that's a contrarian play if you want to do that. So at the market open, you might see the S&P start to go down till it hits unchanged, and then it'll make up its mind then. NQ, NASDAQ, Russell, not up much. Dow, not up much. VIX and volatility futures, they're down. So that'll be good for short premium plays. And if I scroll down here, I got SPX, that's what I'll use for the 0 dates to expiration. And I got tick and ADD on here, so these will start to update once the market opens. Just a little plug, I do use a mood indicator, which is a free custom indicator for Thinkorswim. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link to another video I did going over it, but basically it'll look at different market internals and it'll give you a recommendation to sell a call spread or a put spread. So usually what I do is I put on one Iron Condor, and then I also add 1 or 2 directional trades based on that mood indicator. So on Monday, the call side got stopped out, but I had 3 put spreads to every 1 call spread, so I ended up winning on the day. But since my internet isn't the best, I'm not going to have Thinkorswim open because I don't want to bog down the stream too bad. So we'll look at SPX here. SPX right now doesn't update until 8:30, but the futures are up $8. I don't know. So this futures is up $8 from where it closed at 4 p.m. XPX closes at 3 p.m. Central Time. So if SPX were to open right now, it might not show up $7. It might show something different. And that's just because of the move that the futures do between 3 and 4. So a little tidbit of information there. Q4 of this year, SPX is supposedly going to the same trading hours as futures. So it'll be open 23/5. So it'll be open from 5 p.m. Central on Sunday night all the way to Friday at 4 p.m. Futures have a break, an hour break between 4 and 5 p.m. Central, and also a 15-minute break between 3:15 and 3:30. So SPX is supposedly going that same route eventually. So when that happens, SPX will be updating during the same time as the futures. So I'm going to open up my chart here. I think I'm on the daily chart. So for Iron Fly, I'm going to go 1 minute today. And like I said, my internet is slow, so it might take a little bit of time to update here. I'll go to 1 day. If you're interested in what my chart, my indicators, volume doesn't show up because SPX is an index. You can't trade the shares. I have the simpler trading trend study. That's why the candlesticks are not your standard green and red color. And then I have the relative strength index RSI down here. That's what I use for my charts. I like to keep it pretty simple. I found the simpler the better. And one other thing with 0 days to expiration, this happened last Friday. Doesn't come into effect today, but every month there's an AM expiration. You want to avoid those for 0 days to expiration. The last day you can actually trade these are Thursday, and then it settles to the Friday open price, so you can't do anything on Friday. So if you were to do it on Friday, make sure you do the weekly, which expires in the PM. So I'm going to open up the option chain here. 0 days to expiration. I'm going to start by selling a straddle. And you can see the market just opened. It's at 41.95. So I'm just going to look at the chart here. So I'm looking to see some sort of continuation one way or the other. Not crazy. Usually the first bar is the largest. So what I'm going to do for the Jim Olsen Iron Fly is you start out by selling the straddle. So you sell the at the money call and put. So I'm going to say that's $41.95. Then I'm going to buy the wings. So the 5-point wide. tastyworks, I'm going to highlight both of these. And then I'm going to use this width indicator to increase the width. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the width until the credit I receive. I want to expand the width until the credit increases by less than $1. So 820 to 11, that's $3, $2, 1470, 1590, 1670. So right there. So it went from 1590 to 1670, 1680. So that's about 90 cents. So that's just under $1. So right now this is a 35-point wide iron fly. I'm going to go one more. Just make it a little bit wider. So it'll be a 40-point wide spread. I'm going to try 1740. You can see the mid went down to 1720, 1725, 1730. And I got filled at 1740. So now what I'm going to do is go back to the position chain here. So the cost was $17.40. So my break even is going to be the short straddle plus and minus this $17.40. So if I go 41.95, that's my short strikes. And it's 1740, so I'm going to go plus 1740. So my upside break even is going to be 42.12.40. So in tastyworks, I'm going to create an alert. So I'm going to do the right gutter here, go to alerts, alert symbol SPX last greater than, and this is 42.12.40. I'm going to go 42.12.40, create alert, and if this alert triggers, I'm going to get out of this iron fly immediately. That's my stop. In tastyworks, you can't do stop losses on spreads. You can only do it on single options. If you have thinkorswim, you can set this up as a conditional order. So if SPX gets to 42.12.40, you can have it automatically close, but tastyworks you can't. So I'm just going to use an alert for that. So that's the upside break even, and the bottom side is going to be 41.95. Whoops. 41.95. And it's going to be minus 1740. And that's 41.77.60. So I'm going to do another alert, SPX last, less than. I'm going to do, I keep opening that calculator, 41.77.60. Create alert. So now I have my two SPX alerts. So if either of these trigger, I will get out of this iron fly immediately. My profit target for this Jim Olsen iron fly is going to be $1.50. So with that, I'm going to take 1740 40 subtract 150 and 1590. So 1590 is going to be my profit target. And I'm going to let that sit, and hopefully it closes at that. So 1590 is where it is. So I'm going to highlight all these legs here. Click close. I'm going to go down to 1590. I just did that from the credit I received, and I subtract $1.50. So 1590, send that, and that's going to be my profit. Another thing you can do if you're going to watch this trade is you can, on your chart, draw in a price level at your break evens, and you can watch the chart to see if you ever get to that. So my two break evens are 41.77 Whoops. So I'm just going to drag this price line down to about that level, and then on the upside it's 42.12. So I'm just going to drag this line here. You can do this in pretty much any brokerage platform. So I just went a little below. So here are my two break-even lines graphically if you want to watch it. I like to put this on there. I don't watch it, but if I want to go back and look at it quick to see where things are, it's pretty easy to do there. So that's the Iron Fly. So you can see I'm up $50 on it already. And hopefully that hits in our time frame here. We'll see. So now I'm going to go over to the Iron Condor. So the Iron Condor I like to do usually at about the 5-minute mark after the market opens. So I kind of missed that already, but that's okay. And what I like to do is I like to sell the 10 delta. So here the 12 delta on the call side is going to be the closest, and just change to 10. So I'm going to sell that 10, and then I'm going to buy the first 5 cent, 10 cent wing. So here is going to be 20 cents on the call side. Let's see. So that's 70 cents. So hopefully my internet is working out okay. Looks like my internet is acting up. Hopefully it gets better here. But so 20 cents on the call side, and then on this side I'd normally go to the 10 delta, but since I use this as the Iron Fly, I'm going to go to the 8 delta. I'm going to go to the first 5 cent, 15 cent one on this side, so I'm getting 170. I usually like to try to get about $1 on the short, so I'm actually going to move this guy. Actually, I'll probably just wait. Looks like no, sorry about that. So I'm gonna stick with this 8 delta and put this in. So I go to 10 delta on the shorts, and then I go out to the first 5 cent bid option on both sides. Review and send. Fill that 170. So now what I'm going to do is put in my stop loss. So I have a 41.50 put. So if I go here to the 41.50 put, I'll highlight that. I got $1.07 on that short. I'm going to put the stop on only this short put, and I'm going to put it in at 3 times the credit received. and that will make it a 2 times net loss. So if I go 107 times 3, that goes 321. I always round up to the nearest 10, so I'm going to put in a stop loss at 330. So I'm going to right click, close position. I'm going to change the order type from limit to stop limit. And you can also do a stop market. Some people like to do the stop market. I like to do the stop limit. So, oh, I did that again. So I go to the calculator. It was 321. So I'm going to make it 330. So the stop price is going to be 330. And my limit price, I like to go 40 cents above this. So I'm going to make it 370. So this stop order will trigger if the ask hits 330. If the ask hits 330 or the last hits 330, then this stop order will trigger and it will try to fill this order below 370. So that's your limit price. So if the price goes up to $5 immediately, it won't fill until it comes back down below 370. So you want to make sure that you have this cushion here enough so that it doesn't get blown out. So that's why some people use market stops. If you get a really, really bad fill and you have a market, you might be able to get the trade busted. If you use a limit stop, you won't be able to get it busted. So that's another reason to use market, but I like to use limits. I haven't had any issues with the 40-cent wide spread, so that's what I'm going to stick with. So I'm going to put that in. Then on the call side, it's the 42.20. So if I go to 42.20, click on that, that's 80 cents. So I can do that in my head. 80 cents times 3 is 240. So I like to give it a little extra cushion, so I'm going to go 250. For the stop, add 40 cents, 290 for the limit price, and I'll put that in. And like I said, so that's my basic Iron Condor. I set that up. I have my stop set, so I'll usually leave that until the last hour of the day. If the market is not anywhere close to either side, I'll take off my stops and then I'll just watch it. If it's close, I'll leave it. Sometimes in the last hour, especially the last half hour, you can get some pretty bad spreads, and you can get bad fills. So the iron fly here, we can look, we're about 70 cents away from getting filled, so that means we're up 80 bucks on it. So you could get out now if you wanted to. I'm just going to let it play out. So the Iron Condor, I went 10 cent or 10 delta. If you've watched Tammy's videos, she likes to go with the 5 delta. It's really a personal preference. So I've just been alerted that people are talking in the live chat, and my live chat is not updating. So I'm not sure what people are asking. There it is. Good morning. Yes, I'm recording the session. It will be available later. Someone asked about the FOMC member speaking at 9 o'clock Central. I talk about that right away. I'm only worried if it's Jerome Powell or Janet Yellen talking. Those are the two big people. If it's anyone else, I'm not too concerned about it. When would these contracts expire? What time? So for 0 days to expiration on SPX, they expire at 3 o'clock they are cash settled. So that means there's no shares. So if you're $1 in the money at expiration, your account will be debited $100. So there's no shares to worry about. So that's nice. With Tastyworks, there's a $5 assignment exercise fee. Other brokerages have different fees, so just be aware of that. Can't you get the break evens from the platform? You might be able to. I'm not sure of how to do it in Tastyworks. I just manually add it. If you're using another brokerage, it's you can just calculate it yourself. Do you use a stop loss for Iron Fly? So if I used Thinkorswim, yes, I would put in a conditional order where I would have I would put in an OCO, so one cancels another, and I would put in the conditional order so that the Iron Fly closes if SPX hits either of your break evens. But in Tastyworks, you can't do that, so you have to do it kind of an old school way and put in alerts and then manually close it. So with the Iron Fly, you really got to have good management and mechanics and make sure you follow those. Worst thing you can do is not follow them and get stopped out, or just let it run and get a max loss. With these trades, you really need to be managing your risk and live to fight another day. Screen share is not the best. It's not that smooth. I'm sorry, guys. Occasional buffering. Yeah, I have pretty bad internet. So I apologize on that. I might do an evergreen piece or one where I record it not live, and then the quality will be a little better. So if you have more questions, let me know. Hopefully my chat will update here if anyone has extra questions. So going back to the Iron Condor, Tammy does the 5 delta. I do 10 delta. Basically, the higher the delta, the more likely you'll get stopped out, but the more profit you get over the long run, but also the more drawdown. So if you want to be more conservative, go with the smaller delta. And if you're less conservative or less aggressive, go with the smaller delta. It's kind of your own risk tolerance here. And like I said, usually I have Thinkorswim open. I use the mood indicator that was developed by Hassan, and I use that to add call or put spreads. So the market's going down, so I'm assuming the mood indicator would be suggesting selling call spreads. So maybe if you had that open and it was suggesting call spreads, I would be putting on a couple more call spreads. But I don't have that open, trying to keep the stream as good as I can. So I'm not going to do that, but that's something that you can do if you want. Let's see, I'm going to try to open up the chat again, see if there's... Yep, it is updating. Hey, Ben, when will the options expire when they change the hours in the fourth quarter? That's a good question. I think it will still be 3 o'clock. They're going to have to do something with that. That's what the features do for 0 days to expiration, is they expire at 3 o'clock. If you're trading SPX and it's not a 0 days to expiration contract, meaning if there's still 7 days left, they actually close at 3:15 Central. So you have an extra 15 minutes after the cash closes to trade those options. So those are my SPX trades. You can see the market is starting to move quite a bit. We're down $10 from when I opened up the Iron Fly. So now it looks like I'm down $30 or so on the Iron Fly. So I'm just going to let that sit still. We're still okay if we look at the chart here. Yeah, so we're headed down pretty good. The month of May has not been very good for the Iron Condors and the Iron Flies. We get these pretty wild swings pretty much right after the market opens, and that's not good for these trades. So I'm hoping today is a little better, but if we get stopped out, then we just another trade. We'll move on and put another one on Friday. So I'm going to move on from SPX here and look at Dick's Sporting Goods, which is, wow, up 95, up to $95. So this was a big fat loser. Would have been better if I would have closed right away, but hindsight's 2020. I'm not interested in staying in Dick's Sporting Goods. And Galileo just said that the mood indicator is not showing call spread yet. Thanks for that update. So maybe the market will stop heading down. We'll see. And I can go down. Look at the tick in the ADD. So the ADD is actually positive. So that's a bullish sign. And the tick is, if you look at it for a little bit, looks like it's green right now, and you can see that from a couple of the pops here. Now it's negative. But so Dick's Sporting Goods, if you wanted to stay in this trade, we're at 23 days expiration. You could move it out to 51 days. So if you want to do that, you could close this, go out to July, sell a new strangle basically, and try and get a credit for it or pay for a small debit. So you could do this 25 cents. Maybe you're a little bit more bullish, an extra $1. Let's see, how much did I get on this? So I got $2.18 in credit. So this would be adding $1. So I'd be up to about $3 in credit. With tastyworks, there's also, you can use the chains function, the order chains, and it will track everything for you. So if I were to roll this all in one trade, it would pop up here. I might actually just do that just to show you guys. Let's see how much volume. Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods is not a very liquid stock, so I don't really want to be in it. But let's see. So right now I'm contemplating either closing this for a $200 loser or rolling it out and trying to make it better. I think I might move it out just so you guys can see how I manage other ones. It's not really one that I want to, but I will anyways. So I'm just going to look at a daily chart and see what it looks like. Yeah, so it's been slightly bullish here, looks like, or last year. Yeah, it's been going straight up. So maybe I think we're going to have a pullback here. So I might sell the 100 here. Maybe I go with the 80 put, 15-cent credit. I'll go 85 here. So I'm taking an extra $1 in credit. Buying power goes down 424 in credit. So actually that will increase my buying power. And Dick's Sporting Goods is not liquid at all. So it's going to be a pain to fill this, but I'm going to try $1. Not filled. Give up a couple more pennies here. Not filled yet. Yeah, I really don't like this. Go down to 90 cents. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to fill this. I'm going to cancel it. Sorry, guys. So you won't be able to see that in action here. I'm just going to end up closing this and moving to the next trade. So I'm just going to cancel replace. Keep upticking until get filled here. What's this put? There we go. So I'm filled out of Dick's Sporting Goods. So I was a loser. Had a big move. It is what it is. Not everyone's gonna be a winner. That's one big thing with trading is everyone wants every single trade to be a winner. The winning trades are easy. It's the ones that are losing that you're gonna have to manage, and just mentally, don't let that be bogged down. So I closed that. I moved on. It's out of my mind. Not worried about it. So when you first put on the trade, that's when you should be worried about the risk. So then finally, I'm just going to go over some of the earnings here. So Dollar Tree, Nvidia, Snow, and BBY are the ones that I'll look at. So Dollar Tree is the first one. Tomorrow before the market opens is when it has earnings, and the relative move is 3.2% less than the average of the last 4 quarters. So not very good, but we'll take a look anyway. So DLTR, IV rank of 47, price of 108. My account size is around 25,000. And so this would be a defined risk trade for me. I wouldn't want to do a short strangle in anything above $100. Even the Dick's Sporting Goods trade, I probably should have done defined risk on that one. But if we go in here, IV, I want to see minimum 30% in the back months. In the back months, we're right at that 30% marker. So this is really a fringe player. If we go into here, I went into the monthly. The bid-ask spread is pretty wide, 15 cents. So I'm not going to trade this. If you were to trade this, I would probably do something directional. But you could do like an Iron Condor if you wanted to. But I'm not going to look at that anymore. So Dollar Tree is out. Nvidia, I think that's the best one on the board. It's after the market close. They announce earnings, and it's a 1.8%. Implied move is 1.8% above the absolute move over the last 4 quarters on average. So that's good. So I'm going to go in Nvidia here. So $624 stock. This is definitely a defined risk trade. I'm going to go to the option chain, the back months here. I'm just looking at the implied volatility, and they're about 40%. So that's above the 30% threshold that I was talking about. So that's good. The vol crush, I'm looking between the front month here of June 18th and the back months of about 40. So we're only looking at about a 2% vol crush. So that's not very much, actually. So if you were to do an undefined risk trade, like a short strangle, I would not do that in here because you're only looking at a 2% contraction. So if you were to do like the 550 here with a 2% contraction and a VEG of 28, you're looking to make 56 cents. And your buying power is 5,500. If you do an Iron Condor, the Greeks are a little bit more muted, so it's not as, the vol crush isn't as important. It's more about the delta. You basically don't want the stock to move. So here I might do a $5 wide Iron Condor. We're getting about 175. That's not horrible. If we look at the chart here, it's kind of at the top of its range, so maybe I go a little bit closer on the call side. I want to get about 1/3 the width, so about 170-ish is what I would normally want on a $5 wide. So I don't mind this trade, so I'll put this one in. You can go directional if you want. I like to play earnings non-directional. I'm really bad at picking direction. If you have technical analysis, then whatever works for you, use what you're comfortable with. So that's NVIDIA. Snow is the next one. SNOW. This one's 230. Again, defined risk for me. Implied volatility in the 50s, so that's good, above my 30%. Your vol crush from this June 18th, 65 down to, call it 60, so about a 5% vol crush, so that's better than NVIDIA. Look at an Iron Condor just outside the expected move. That's what this brown bar is. And it's about 165. That's classic 1/3 the width. So you could do that. You could also go into the weekly expiration here. These would be 250 wide. You could go $5 wide too if you wanted. Well, you're looking at $1. I kind of like this one. These blue lines here are the 1 standard deviation. So you could go out to here. For 250 wide, you're looking at just over 80 cents. These markets aren't the best, but I think I'll trade it anyways. So this one here, 250 wide, make a 110. I don't mind that. You're only risking 135. So put that guy in, see if we get filled. Yeah, the markets are pretty wide. You can see when I put it in the mid, it was 104, and now it's showing 91. So actually, I'm going to cancel that, go back to June. Yeah, these are 30-cent wide. I'm actually going to skip snow. I take that back. So snow we skipped, and BBY is the last one here. Try that. I think that's Best Buy. BBY. Come on. Yep, Best Buy. Look at that one. 117 bucks. Back months, upper 30s. So kind of a fringe player. If we go to June, 10-cent wide market's not horrible. This one I might do a $3 wide. Iron Condor. And we're not even getting the 1/3 the width. I'd want about $1. So I'm going to skip this one as well. Like I said, I could do something directional if I wanted to, but I don't like picking direction. So I'm going to skip that one. So for earnings plays, I just did NVIDIA. Ideally, I would put this on at the end of the day, so you could kind of have your strikes be, or the price be centered between your strikes, but I didn't want to do another video today, so just put that on for you guys now. Just want to circle back to the 0 days to expiration one more time. I would recommend doing one Iron Condor for every $20,000 your account size is. Risk management is the biggest thing for these trades. You don't want to trade them too big. You want to make sure you're trading small so you can handle all the drawdowns. So one contract, one tranche for every $20,000 in buying power is what I would recommend. Same thing with the Iron Fly. So the Iron Fly can go against you pretty quick. So I would do that for every 20,000. I would just do one contract. If you want to do more size, I caution it, especially when you're starting out. But like I said, risk management is the biggest thing. You always want to live another day to trade. One thing with the Iron Fly I forgot to mention is after an hour, so at 9:30 Central Time, regardless of where the Iron Fly is, I would close it. Jim Olson found that after an hour, the odds go against you, and so you want to close it out at an hour. And so my limit's 1590. It's at 1650, so it's got another 60 cents to go. So that means I'm up about $90 right now on it if I wanted to close it out. I'm going to let it sit here until 9:30. If I don't get filled before then I will end up closing it manually. You can see here that we're still within our boundaries. So we're still sitting all right. Hopefully this goes back up a little bit and this will close. The Iron Condor, we're looking just fine. Our short put is the same price as we put it on, and our short call has decreased by quite a bit. So we're up on that too. So combined, we're up 160, 180 is jumping around already on that. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully you found this beneficial. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave any comments, anything you want to see in the future, anything you want to see changed in the future. You know, if there's something that you didn't like, just let me know. And thanks for watching, guys.